Title text on screen. 1. Impulse shopping. Intro. Visual. You walking through a shopping mall or store looking excited. Upbeat background music. Voiceover. You know that feeling? You're out at the mall, just looking around, and suddenly, there it is. That perfect item you didn't know you needed, but now you must have it. Visual. Close-up of shiny shoes, gadgets, or bags on display. Your eyes widen, you smile, and take out your wallet. Voiceover. It's on sale, right? 30% off. You convince yourself it's a smart deal. You swipe your card without thinking. Twice. Visual. You walking out of the store with shopping bags, feeling proud. Dramatic music fades. Voiceover. But here's the catch. Most of the time, those deals aren't deals at all. They're distractions. I wasn't shopping because I needed something. I was shopping because it gave me a temporary high. Cut to. You at home, opening your shopping bags. The excitement fades. You check your bank app, and your smile slowly disappears. Voiceover. When I looked at my bank statement later, reality hit hard. I had spent thousands on things I barely used, and worse, I couldn't even remember why I bought half of them. Visual. Sad music. You place the items in a pile labeled barely used or impulse buys. Voiceover. Impulse shopping was quietly eating away at my income. I wasn't just spending money. I was losing opportunity. Money that could have gone into savings, investments, or building my future was gone. Just like that. Visual. Split screen. On one side, impulse purchases piling up. On the other, growing savings or investment app increasing. Voiceover. So I made a rule. No more impulse buys. I started making shopping lists. If I saw something I wanted, I'd wait 3 days before buying it. Most of the time, I'd forget about it. And that's when I knew. It wasn't a need. It was just a want. Visual. You walking past the same store a few weeks later, looking confident and not stopping. You smile at your phone showing a growing bank balance. Voiceover. Now, instead of chasing short-term excitement, I chase long-term freedom. And trust me, financial freedom feels way better than a new pair of shoes. Text on screen. Impulse shopping. You. Gone more money in my pocket. Smarter decisions. You. Richer life. Text on screen. 2. Daily coffee runs. Huge. Silent money. Killer. Opening visual. Early morning. You're walking into a fancy coffee shop. Happy vibes. Uplifting background music. Voiceover. Every morning, without fail, I'd walk into my favorite coffee shop. The smell of fresh espresso, the friendly barista, that perfect caramel latte. It felt like a little treat before the chaos of the day. Visual. The barista smiles and hands over a large aesthetic cup. Price shows up. 300. Voiceover. 300 rupees for a coffee? It didn't feel like much. I mean, it's just one cup, right? Visual. Fast cut montage of you buying coffee. Day after day, week after week. Voiceover. But here's the thing. 1 cup a day turns into $9,000 a month. That's over. Or 100,000 a year, just on coffee. And that's not even counting the occasional snack or pastry I'd grab with it. Visual. You at home, sitting at your table with your phone. You type the cost of daily coffee into a calculator. Total flashes on screen. R1 has 8,000 use year. You stare at the screen, shocked. Voiceover. When I finally did the math, I felt sick. I was literally sipping away my savings 1 latte at a time. Visual. Mood shift. Slightly dramatic music. You look in the mirror and say, enough. Cut to you searching for budget coffee recipes online. Voiceover. That's when I decided to change. I invested in a decent coffee maker for home. Learned how to make my favorite drinks myself. It took a little time, but it became part of my routine. Visual. You happily making coffee at home. Beans grinding. Frothy milk. Aesthetic setup. Cost flashes. R20 per cup. Voiceover. Now I make better coffee at home, for less than 1/10 the price. And you know what? It tastes better, because I know I'm saving big every single day. Visual. You check your phone. Instead of buying coffee, you transfer $300 into your savings app or investment account. Voiceover. Every time I skip the cafe, I move that money into a savings account or invest it. Over time, that small habit became a powerful money machine. Visual. Screen split. One side is your past self buying coffee daily. Other side is you with a growing savings chart. Voiceover. I realized something important. Small daily habits can either make you rich or keep you broke. Coffee wasn't the problem. The mindless spending was. Text on screen. Daily coffee, R300 monthly. Total, R9,000. Financial drain. Switched to homebrew savings. Over, R1. Lack a year. Outro of this scene. You sit on your balcony, sipping homemade coffee, relaxed. Calm, motivating music fades in. Voiceover. Cutting coffee shop visits didn't make my life less enjoyable. It made it intentional, and that's the kind of energy I want in my financial journey. It's not about giving up things you love. It's about choosing what you love more. Text on screen. 3. Paying for things I don't use. Opening visual. You sitting on the couch, casually scrolling through your phone. Background music is light and relaxed. Voiceover. One lazy Sunday, I decided to check my bank statement. And something weird popped up. A charge from a fitness app I hadn't used in months. Visual. Zoom in on phone showing R499 deducted for a subscription. Your eyes widen in surprise. Voiceover. So I started digging, and what I found shocked me. Visual. Montage of app logos. Netflix, Spotify, Amazon Prime, Canva, online. Courses, fitness apps, language apps, all flashing quickly on screen. Voiceover, streaming services, music subscriptions, cloud storage, premium apps, monthly tools I signed up for once and completely forgot about. Visual, you adding them up using your calculator. Each subscription adds R199, R499, R999, total flashes on screen, R3,700 tier month. Voiceover, altogether I was spending nearly R3,700 every single month, over R44,000 a year, on services I barely used. Visual, mood changes. You sitting with a serious expression, canceling subscriptions one by one. Voiceover. That's when I decided to unsubscribe from anything that wasn't essential. If I hadn't used it in the last 30 days, it was gone. Visual. You with a whiteboard listing must keep and cancel. Only 2 to 3 services stay on the keep list. Voiceover. I kept only what I actually used and ditched the rest. No guilt, no second thoughts. Visual. You smiling while transferring R3,000 into your savings account instead. Voiceover. Now that money goes into my investments and savings instead of disappearing into digital black holes. Text on screen. Old monthly subscriptions. R3,700 canceled and cleaned up monthly savings. R3,000 true flew. Yearly impact. R36,000 worse. Outro visual. You chilling with a book or enjoying free content online, relaxed and stress-free. Voiceover. Shakesy it. Felt amazing to declutter my finances. Fewer subscriptions, fewer distractions. More money, more focus. Scene 4. Fashion FOMO. Financial slow-mo. Text on screen. 4. Trendy clothes I never wore. Opening visual. You standing in front of an overflowing wardrobe looking frustrated. Fast fashion bags on the floor. Voiceover. Every month I felt the pressure. New styles, new trends, influencers showing off the latest outfits, and I followed the hype. Visual. Quick shots of you doing online shopping at night, adding items to cart, smiling, cut to boxes arriving. Voiceover. I bought shirts, jackets, shoes, things I thought I needed to keep up. But here's the truth. Visual. You holding a shirt with tags still on it, you toss it onto a growing pile labeled "Never Worn." Voiceover. Most of it, I never even wore. Some outfits looked great online but didn't suit me. Others, I just forgot. Visual. You calculating total cost of unused clothes. Numbers adding up fast. R-Uant 500. R-3000. R-7000 Watzlers. Voiceover. When I counted the cost, I realized I had spent tens of thousands just to impress people who probably never noticed. Visual. You now wearing a simple, clean outfit. Confident, walking outside, smiling. Voiceover. Now, I focus on timeless, quality pieces. I don't buy clothes to impress. I buy what I'll actually use. Text on screen. From Trendy. And broke, too. Minimal and wealthy saved thousands by stopping fashion. FOMO voiceover. Style is great, but financial freedom looks better on me. Buy less, choose well, and wear confidence instead. Text on screen. 5. Chasing every new gadget. Opening visual. You looking at a brand new phone in a store, mesmerized. Price tag, Rs 85,000. Background music builds tension. Voiceover. Every year, a new phone drops. Better camera, faster processor, slightly cooler design. And I used to fall for it every time. Visual. Flashback clips of older phones in a drawer. You unbox the new one excitedly, then repeat next year. Voiceover. I convinced myself it was a smart investment. But, in reality, it was just shiny, overpriced distraction. Visual. You checking your current phone. It still works perfectly. No lag, great condition. Voiceover. I realized I was upgrading not because I needed to, but because I wanted to keep up. Visual. You now ignoring the new phone ad. Walking away with confidence. Voiceover. So I stopped upgrading every year. I started using my devices until they genuinely needed replacing. Visual, calculator on screen. Skipping just one Rs 85,000 phone upgrade over 2 years. Haku, big savings. Voiceover. That one decision saved me over $40,000 a year. Money I now use to invest, not impress. Text on screen. Old habit. Upgrade every year. Cost. Rs 80K Rs 1L. New habit. Use it fully saved. RO 40K plus. Year voiceover. Technology should make your life better, not your wallet lighter. Don't upgrade your phone. Upgrade your mindset.